This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Really excited to talk with her today because we are going to take away the aversion to something that can help and support you, really change your life. And I'm talking about hypnotherapy. So many of us, myself included, always wondered about it. I'm not going to go there. I don't know what they're doing. They're going to hypnotize me. First time ever. I've never had this done on this show, but we're going to get examples of what's done to hypnotize you. Many different ways to get that done. And just go through all of this because it can change your life in so many ways. She's a certified hypnotherapist. She's a coach. She's a sound healer, Reiki practitioner, and so much more. Audra Sanderhoff joins us on the program today. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Steve?
Doing great. Doing great. And I'm like most people, I'm sure, listening and watching, when you say the word hypnotize, right away, a block goes up. Oh, I don't know about that. I'm uneasy about that. Now, we've talked before of how you can't control somebody. It's not like you can get credit card numbers, social security numbers, make somebody do things they don't want to do. Are these things that you hear from a lot of people before they try it?
People are curious about it, and they sometimes come to me because they've tried everything else.
Mm.
Unfortunately, yeah, they've exhausted everything, and then they're kind of at rock bottom. So they're curious about it. It's starting to become, I mean, it's funny, hypnotherapy's been around for a long time, but it's becoming more popular as an alternative method of healing, processing trauma. And I don't want to call it like a magic pill, but a lot of people want the quick fix. And it is kind of in that category because I get people in 5 weeks, they get 5 sessions and transformation. And people notice a difference. Their family members, their trainers, they're like, what are you doing? I noticed something that's different about you. So, yeah.
I've never heard that before. And I wonder, in terms of, and everybody's different, every situation is different, but is it sometimes a progressive thing? Like somebody will do hypnotherapy and then a week or two later start, no, well, wait a minute. I'm different for whatever it is, a fear of something, maybe even smoking. I don't know if you do a hypnotherapy session for smoking the next day. I don't want a cigarette anymore. I don't know if it works that way or if it takes a little bit of time to get in, if you will.
It depends, Steve, because over our lifetimes, we've developed traumas and perceived traumas, and then we put layers on our hearts. We block the good things in our life. It's like each time something happens, we put on another pair of glasses, another pair of glasses. And so we start to see the world in this kind of masked way of bitterness, or they're operating from the world's a dangerous place and everyone's out there to hurt me. And so it does take a process to like take off, one set of glasses and then the next set of glasses. So then they start to see what's right in front of them. They start to see the blocks that they have created for themselves. And then we help to remove those blocks, remove the misperceptions, limited beliefs, and then they're able to live a more true, authentic life of who they really are.
Let's go to the method. So if you've never seen how somebody is hypnotized, then you're not going to hypnotize me today. We don't need to. Actually, I would love to do a session at some point because I probably need some catching up. However, there are different ways to do it, but I believe it's going to surprise many of us that it's so simple. That it's so organic. And by the way, I guess even before we jump in here is, we've said this before, but I believe it bears repeating, that you're hypnotized all day long and you don't even know it.
Exactly, right? Steve. Yeah. So the subconscious mind is what takes care of your blood pumping through your heart, your breath. You don't have to think about all those things that your body is naturally doing. And so when you go into hypnosis, it's basically the same thing. It's a relaxed state. So I tell people it's so easy, it's comfortable, and you do it all the time throughout the day. So it's just focused concentration or focused awareness. And so and also, I teach people right away that all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. So they're in control.
Hmm.
So they're able to drop themselves into their own self-hypnosis. So I'm teaching them through a progressive relaxation. So we could start with, I have them look up into their eyebrows until their eyes get tired and they just want to close their eyes. Some people, they just know they just lay down and they close their eyes immediately. And I just talk them through like basically like a relaxation meditation. And then they're able to take themselves into that relaxed state. So that's where like I said, it's really easy, it's comfortable. They could be interrupted and drop and get up, use the restroom, and come right back and drop themselves into that relaxed state. So we're bypassing the conscious mind, we're bypassing that critical factor, that analyzing mind to get into just the true essence of the person.
Hmm. I want to share with you the looking up into your eyebrow
Mhm.
technique. It was done on me, and then I continue to do it. Just helps me sleep, puts me out, makes me in a relaxed state. I remember it was a year ago, and I only learned it like a year before, and I was at a retreat. And it was just, some seminars and things like that. And they're talking like, all right, you know what? We're going to take some time now. You can do whatever, meditate if you want, do whatever. So I hypnotized myself. I'm sitting there and like, this is great. This is so, I traveled for this. So now I'm away. So I'm relaxing. And I just put myself in that state. And I was like, I am so peaceful. This is fantastic. Ah, without me knowing, like 10 minutes later, somebody gets on the PA system. All right, well, we're back now. Let's start. I'm like, whoa, wait, what happened? I wasn't expecting coming back so fast. I mean, it was nothing, but I was so relaxed. And I think that's the takeaway for anybody that this is relaxation. You are relaxing when you're hypnotized. You're chilling out. And not to say that it can't get a little emotional depending on what your goals are and things like that, but that's all part of the change that takes place. So we have the method where you look up and eventually your eyes become tired. You close your eyes. They almost feel like they're glued shut because you're just in a such a relaxed state. And that's where the change takes place. What are some of the other methods that are used to hypnotize somebody?
Basically, I just do those particular things.
Oh,
We do progressive relaxation, and like I teach them how to, drop themselves into a relaxed state. I'm the guide. I'm not doing anything to them. I'm not hypnotizing them. They're hypnotizing themselves. And so like I said, it's really easy, it's calming, it's relaxing. And then yes, then once they're in that state of hypnosis, then I do a few tests to make sure that they're deep enough to progress into the next level. And then we start to, what did they come in for? We've already talked about that before we start the session. I have them write down affirmations of what they want to make changes with. And so we go through a number of different things, but we go into whatever they want to work on. I had one client who flew all the time for work. And suddenly, out of the blue, he's well into his 30s and suddenly had fear of flying and was super nervous, super stressed, totally shut down. And he's like, I have to do this for work, so I have to fly. And after seeing me just a few sessions, his next flight was easy. He was happy. He was excited. The turbulence was really and he was like, "Oh, this is kind of fun." The next time after he had done the hypnotherapy, so he had a totally different perception and reframed, what the turbulence meant. And then we also, in one of the sessions, our last session of the five, I do, packages of five, and then there's continuing on for hypnosis. But we did a past life regression, and that's where we go into many different lifetimes and we focus on just one, but it releases the fear of death because then you know that your soul is eternal and that we're just using this body in this lifetime at this moment, and we've
mm.
had many lifetimes possibly.
Wow. Um, I have goosebumps. I really do. Because what you just said 2 years ago, I was staring out of my garage. I was just looking at trees around. And then I thought, I could live anywhere, really. I'm at that point now where just peace, just the view I have could be in the mountains somewhere, could be anywhere. And then it just clicked in my head. And I don't know why it was at that moment, but I felt like, wait a minute, we are spiritual beings in these human containers. And I have to tell you, like the fear of death and all of that, like went away. Like I'm like, whatever, it's great. Yeah, it's when you think of it that way, and I know it's a challenging climb there for somebody to grasp the fact that we are from other lives and we will be in others in the future, if that's what you believe. Um, but there is proof of it with these things called past life regression. It's almost
Yeah.
hard to deny some of this.
Hmm. Yeah, I've had a few clients. One client, he's an African American man, and when we went into a past life, he was laughing afterwards. He was like, I was a white man and I was rich, and he was just laughing. Recently, I had a client where she was like, I was a woman from India and I was being forced into an arranged marriage. And she chose to take her life because she didn't find freedom in that choice. So, and then she also got to see the repercussions. How many people were hurt because she ended her life and she thought that was her only way out. And she was like, who would have thought that I was a woman from India? And as I lead them through this progressive relaxation, it's like using your imagination. Maybe it happened, maybe it didn't happen, but the details that people tell me about their lives and who they are, the woman's like, I have a red dot right here, between my eyebrows. So it's fascinating. When I do the past life regression, I was a little nervous to go into that with people. And then now it's the most fun session because
Mm.
it's they get to see their other lifetimes, and there's always a message, why that past life, what did that past life need to say to you that would be helpful for you in this lifetime, understanding what karma is being worked out, even why we came into this lifetime and what our purpose is. And sometimes it's like why we chose the parents we chose. You're like, God, why would I choose them? I went through all this horrible stuff, but there was a reason why we chose those parents in this lifetime, because we needed to learn something.
I know we're getting deep here. for for many, I understand. I get it. And it's been said that we're here to learn something, learn and create, learn, teach, and create. Do you believe that?
Yes, definitely, Steve.
Hmm. Why is there always something that needs to get learned? For example, somebody goes through some really challenging stuff in life. Like, why did that happen to me? I can't believe it. And I know some of us run in the victim mentality. I get it. It's human nature, right? Um, but why did we have to learn that lesson?
Well, sometimes I mean, each person, it's an individual process, but that's where in that past life, sometimes they get the answers to what karma is being worked out in this lifetime.
I was waiting for that word, by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
unfortunately, so like, someone who takes their life. Usually, it's like you were given this perfectly good body, this life, and when you choose to end it, not that you're punished for it, but there's a, some
Repercussion.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Let's go to karma. You open the door. Um, Many of us look at karma as like, yeah, it's a bad karma. Karma's coming their way. It's gonna the karma police. Karma train's pulling up for that person who may have done something horrible. Um, does that mean in another life they may get a lesson based on the things that they've done in this life?
Sometimes, yes.
Okay.
Thinking about learning from our mistakes. If we don't learn from our mistakes, we're doomed to repeat them and repeat them, and sometimes over lifetimes. you know? So that's where when they get that download from that past life and that person talks to them and tells them what is really important in life. One client experienced, she called it a soul spa where she was at, and she was looking down at people on, at Earth, and she was like, oh, it's like a cocktail party. She goes, and I go, is anyone familiar up there? And she goes, everyone's familiar. And she had a big grin on her face when she was there. And she goes, we're looking down and we're laughing at all of you, worrying about all the small things. And she
Mm.
was, all you need is two things in life is love and a purpose. And that session was amazing to have her, I didn't want that session to end because she had so much insights coming to her about it.
Wow. I mean, think about it. What do we all want? To be loved, to give love, highest vibration there is. And once you've found your purpose in life, which you obviously have, it just makes life better for you, me, and others. Those
Yeah.
two things.
And I
Hmm.
help people. Some people come to me when they don't know what their life purpose is. And so we discover what their life purpose is through hypnotherapy.
Wow. That's a game changer in itself. All
Mhm.
the other reasons to have hypnotherapy are fantastic, but
Mhm.
that one, and I know so many people that struggle with that. I really do. And it comes up. I think I shared them in a men's group. Been in one for about a year now. That's great. We share things, community service, leadership lessons, and all of that. I would have to say, at minimum, half to three-quarter of the men in the group, and it's a tribe of like 50. They don't know what their purpose is. They haven't figured it out. They're not really sure.
Mhm.
Mm. Wow.
Yeah. Hypnotherapy, definitely we can find, discover what their purpose is. And there may be several purposes in their lifetime, but sometimes it's here to, learn a lesson, to, you know, stop repeating the same mistake lifetime after lifetime.
So, karma, quick question. Let's say somebody has done you wrong, done some horrible things, and it takes two in a relationship. I get it. It's a two-way street. But let's just say the scale is tipped like 90-10, 80-20, right? And the person done wrong is like, they're going to have theirs come. At least sometime it's going to come their way. What would your advice be to that person? Or what would you want the person that was hurt to know?
Mhm. We work on one of the sessions is specific to releasing anger and forgiveness. And
Sure.
some people are like, I will never forgive that person and don't even really understand what forgiveness is. And it's not about condoning and, or saying, oh, what they did was okay. I forgive them now. It's about they dumped something on you. They dumped guilt or shame or low self-esteem. So we're taking that and releasing it. You can, you're releasing it to, to the spirit, to earth, to back to the person, not that you wish, some people do wish them harm, but that's only hurting you. So when you hold that in your heart of unforgiveness, it's like, I'm going to pick up hot coals and I'm going to chuck them at you because you hurt me, but only you get burned.
Mm.
So I help them release the things that they're holding on to that's weighing them down. People don't always come to see me for weight management, but right after a session, they're like, I feel lighter, and that wasn't our goal, but they don't feel that weight, that pressure that they were holding on to. And then they also are using so much energy to stuff it all down so it doesn't come flying out of them too. So they don't want to hurt other people because they've been hurt. But as you've heard, hurt people hurt people.
People. Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So hopefully people don't want to hurt people. And when they work on the forgiveness work, it softens and they don't need to hold that resentment because that's only going to cause, I believe, when we hold like negative, low vibrational um, feelings like shame and guilt and hurt, it can cause disease. progressively throughout the years. So
Sure.
it's going to be in your highest good to release that so you can live, more free, true, authentic life. Some people don't think, oh, I'll never be happy. I've even said that to myself. Oh, this happened. Now I'll never be happy. I wasn't happy before, and now I'm definitely not going to be happy. And then it took my own process of going through hypnotherapy to realize that I can choose happiness no matter what. Doesn't
Mm-hmm.
matter how much money you have or what kind of car you have, what kind of fancy house you have. That's not going to make you happy. Some people think it is going to make you happy in the long run, but it's just finding true happiness no matter what you have.
And therein lies peace,
Yes,
which is
exactly.
key. And if you haven't, you know, I didn't know what it was. Had no
Mhm.
idea. I'm not really religious, but even growing up as a kid, even as an adult, to be in church, peace be with you, peace be with you, peace be with you. And I just say it back, yeah, peace be with you. What are they talking about? Until you figure out that, oh, wait, that's what's missing. Uh, let's say that you've gotten to the point where you've forgiven somebody, you've taken the steps, you're good. You're relatively good after somebody's done some really horrible things. The karma question. Not that you wish anything bad on anybody, but the universal rule. What can be expected for that person? Or if they're even aware of what they did, what might they expect in terms of karma?
Well, that's for them to come in and find out because I can't say, so I'm working with the person who's worked on the forgiveness part, but maybe it takes the person who hurt them to come in for a session. I've had multiple family members come in and see me, and
Mm,
it's so interesting to hear their, I guess, perception of what happened and how it's affecting them.
wow.
So, yeah, so in a sense, it was interesting to, yeah, work with a whole family where, this family was very hurt by the behaviors of their parents. And then it was so interesting to come in and work with the parent through this process. And yeah, everyone has their own perception of what happened, but also where they want healing. So really the main goal is healing for all.
Perception is a big one. It really is, because you could have a siblings describe their parents and they have all different, mom was nicer to you than me. Mom did this and did that. Oh, I didn't realize that. What are you talking about? Yeah, perception is huge. Um, we are just about out of time. Very insightful today. Wow, very interesting. I believe easing fears in terms of hypnotherapy. Just look up, and you know what? I guess in a way, life does look up after
Yeah.
hypnotherapy because it does change your life for the better. What's the best way to reach you, Audra?
They can schedule 24/7 on my website, and it's my name, which is audrasanderhoff.com. And you can see all the different modalities that I do. And you can set up a free consultation, ask questions, get into what's going on for you and how I can help.
Because it can. It
Yes.
can. And just what you said before, thinking that life is not good, just things going on here. Um, with your shift of mindset, final question here.
Mhm.
You identified before that, you were kind of down and out in some points of your life. We all are at some point. Now that you've shifted your mindset, do you believe good things are coming my way?
Oh, I'm sorry. You cut out for a moment, Steve. Do I believe
Good things are coming your way.
I see good things in everything now? I look for the miracles in every moment. And yeah, so it's totally changed my perception after going through my own sessions of hypnotherapy. So definitely.
Hmm. It opens your eyes. Funny you should say that. I was walking my dog today and I looked, there was an anthill on the ground. I just looked down and I'm like, that's really cool. Like, so insignificant, but it's almost as if the world is new again, like when you were a kid. You don't
Yeah.
have these things around you, the chains around you once, you release them, whatever they may be in terms of hypnotherapy.
That's
Thank
what I teach my clients with self-hypnosis is that they can do it as a walking meditation. And that's where, I've had clients, they're feeling down and they're doing the walking meditation and doing their self-hypnosis, and they notice the little things, the beauty in the small things.
Well said. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Steve.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.